Okay, what IMT concepts did you guys pick up from the movie? Did anybody see anything? There are no accidents. Very good.
There's no control.
No control. That is a big one that they play throughout. And that deals directly with, is it the first question? What's the main problem? If you look at all of the characters, the Furious Five, Shifu, the Panda, what's their issue? If you could sum up their issue, what would it be?
Maybe fair.
Say again?
Fair.
Fair? Like what do you mean by fair?
Maybe they don't trust what they have. They don't believe what they have.
They don't believe in themselves. Okay, give me some examples with the characters on how you know they don't believe in themselves, or how they exhibit this characteristic of not believing in themselves. Do you think the panda's dad would have still loved him regardless of what he did? But what causes people to want to do something different than what they're doing? What causes them not to be satisfied with what they have? Oh.
They don't really know about themselves. They don't know what their individual
Yeah.
personality brings to.
That's exactly what it is. They don't have enough what? Information. They don't have enough information about who they are, what they're good at. They don't have enough information on life. It's really an amazing thing. You go through life, right? And when we're young, we think we know a lot. So you think that when you look at another person right next to you, that you know exactly who they are. But as you start figuring out how complex a human being is and the different environments that people could be in, you start to figure out that even if someone right next to you looks like they're okay one day, that they could be having a lot going on that you don't know, right? This is why in life, the number one thing that religion, your parents, society, any type of theology tells you to do, very often, well, there's two things, but they're all related to the same thing. They tell you to serve others and to love other people. Why are they telling you to do that? Because it's the only way you can figure out what? Other people and more information. You see, when I used to go to service activities, being Japanese, right, we're efficiency. It's not about the people, it's about how quickly you can get the job done, right? So you go out, you service someone's yard or something, right? The whole idea is, what's the most efficient way to get this yard done and get out of there so I can do what I really want to do, right? I never realized the whole idea of doing service was actually the people. See, when you go out of your environment and you help somebody else, and you spend time with them, and you learn what they're going through, you learn why they're doing what they're doing, it gives you information on life. And it helps you to take into your life exactly how it compares with everything else going on. The more people you know, the bigger your view on life or the smaller. It's the bigger. That's why the more you understand, the more it sets you free. Your world actually becomes bigger as you get to know other people. This is very tough for somebody who has a lot of training in one area, right? Because if you're trained from a very young age in one area, how much do you know in life? You only know the one area, right? And this is why we're telling you at this time, you need to learn to broaden your horizon. As you lift your head up, and as you go help other people in different areas, it will give you a balanced perspective on life. It will help you to be satisfied with who you are, right? Now, what was Shifu's problem? What was Shifu's problem? Did anyone figure that out? Yeah.
And as well as being like focusing on what Po didn't have and not realizing what he already has already. And like the way he at first like he tried to train Po like this very traditional way of being like as a
Yes.
the same like standard, but then he learned that like after learning about Po when he ceased maybe like
Mhm.
harness that to like the non-traditional route.
Yes.
He was able to understand Po and use that like train different.
Yeah, Shifu's problem is very similar, and you're right on. He always tried to train people the traditional route. When you have 5 different people, and you try to train all 5 people the exact same way, what are you not picking up? You can't tell the difference. See, Shifu's biggest problem, as Dr. Dean says, he picked up a cat. He picked up the cat, right? Tai Lung. Came to his doorstep. If ever you have a cat at your doorstep, never pick it up. Okay? That's the lesson we learned. No, but seriously, what is Shifu thinking, right? He picks up the cat. He thinks the cat can be just like who? Him. But the cat's different, right? It's coming from a different environment. Whenever you take something foreign from your environment and you try to make it like you, this has like a good effect on people or a bad effect? A bad effect. You have to learn to accept people for who they are. It's okay to help, but to try to incorporate somebody into your own life when they don't want it, that's never a good thing, right? And this is very similar to who? To the goose and Po. What was Po's problem? Yes. Did you raise your hand? No. No, Paul? Po's problem is he thought his dad was a goose. Right? That's his problem. Do you think, he's a big panda bear, do you think it makes a difference if your father's a goose or if they're a panda bear? Do you think there's a difference in that? Yeah, sure, there's a huge difference, right? The goose does things that are totally different than what a panda bear would do. They approach life totally different than a panda bear would approach life. And this is the biggest issue. Po did not understand where he came from and who he was, right? If he understood that the goose was not really his father, it would have helped him understand so much in his life. And so much of his insecurity he would have been able to overlook. Because he would realize, I am different, right? Instead of trying to fit in with a goose. Now, how does he overcome it? How does Po and all of these characters overcome this? You know, one thing I want to point out with this, because we're running short on time, is that when you look through this movie, and the movie's kind of profound if you watch it from a high level, Po goes through all of these huge mistakes, right? From when he's trying to get into the arena when the Dragon Warrior is going to be chosen, from when he's training, and then he gets to Tai Lung, and he's attacking Tai Lung. Did you notice something interesting when he was fighting with Tai Lung? You notice anything interesting about everything throughout the entire fight of Tai Lung? He's doing something. Something's going on. How does he know how to defeat Tai Lung?
He just seemed really positive. Really,
He was very positive.
he wasn't thinking much about what he was doing. He was just kind of reacting.
Yeah. Why did he not have to think about what he was doing? And yes? He did have the confidence, but why did he have the confidence? He did it before, right? Because all of the mistakes he made, he recognized what they were. And he incorporated everything he learned from every mistake he made, and that's actually what gave him the ability to go and defeat Tai Lung. Did you notice that? Like when he falls on the tree. Do you remember when he fell on the tree before? Before, he made the mistake of clinging onto it, right? And the tree whipped him. This time he remembered, he got off of it and it hit Tai Lung, right? The little chopstick thing that they were doing, right? When you look, the fireworks, all of the things, when you look at what he did, you saw everything that he went through, he incorporated. And the kicker is the very end, that really what helped him defeat Tai Lung is what? Say again? It was, but before then. Tai Lung was not able to hurt the panda. Why was he not able to hurt the panda? Yeah, because of his fat. That's why he was a dragon warrior. Because of his fat, it made him able to withstand that little thingy thing. Right? It's an amazing thing. A lot of times, if you don't have enough information, you think your weakness is a weakness because you can't use it at the time. But if you just know, if you just hold out, there's going to be a time when you need it. If you look at Steve Jobs, right? He wasted his time. He went to college classes, never got a degree. But what did he do with what he learned from the college classes he attended? Yes. That's why we have the font, right? Steve Jobs, he took calligraphy classes going to college, didn't get any credit for it. He just sat in there. And because of the knowledge he had, that's why he had the different fonts on the computer, right? He's the one that created that. It's an amazing thing what you find. Now, as you go through life, the major thing here, the secret ingredient is what? It's what? Yeah, yourself. See, a lot of people say you have to get out to network. You have to do this. You have to go to a good college. You have to get good grades. You have to go into this type of degree field. But if you look at society and people have broken all of those rules. There are many multimillionaires that never went to college. There are many people who got C's in college. Most of those become the millionaires. There are many people who, throughout the first 30, 40 years of their life, they did nothing. But if you look closely, they were figuring out who they are, right? Now, Oogway. What was so unique about Oogway that no other character had? Like, if you just watch Oogway, give me a characteristic that comes to your mind. Say again?
Laid back.
Laid back. Give me another descriptive word for when you see someone who's laid back. They move very what? Slow. Okay, number one leadership characteristic you'll never hear from any other leadership class. Be slow. Nothing ever is good or has been done good that has been rushed or has been done fast. When you go slow, it allows you to observe, right? Yes, it might not seem like you're going as quickly as you need to or you're accomplishing as much. But in the long term, you will be more stable and you will produce more. So be slow. What do I mean by be slow? You don't have to look at your phone all the time, right? That's why Dean has the don't look at your technology. When you're trying to do things quickly, you're not able to observe what's going on. And the example I like to give is like you're driving in a car, right? When you're driving in a car, when you're going really slowly, it allows you to do what? It allows you to look around. You start going 90 miles an hour, 100, 120. Not that I've ever done that before, right? But when you start going that fast, you cannot look around because you have to pay attention to every detail in front of you, right? When you go slow, it allows you to be able to take in what you need, right? Oogway goes slow. He realizes that if anything is that important, right, what's going to happen? Say again? He'll see it, but also someone will take care of it, right? A lot of times we think we're that important to life, that if we don't do it, if we don't help this person, if we don't get involved, that everything will be a disaster. Last proposal I have for you. Whenever you think you have to get involved and you have to do something quick, test it. don't say something. Don't get involved. Be still, right? And see if it works out. You can only figure it out if you try it, right? And when you try it and it works out, then it gives you a greater understanding of maybe I don't have to get involved all the time, right? Do you have a question?
When you say test it, can you give me an example?
Say again?
If I want to do it like fast, how can I test it more?
If you want to do something fast, how can you test that out?
Sometimes you don't have time
Yes.
to test whether it's good or not.
For example, okay, I'll give you some examples from my life of what I did. First is like studying for tests, right? You never have enough time to study for a test. You always have to study too long. What I thought was, you know what's more important? Is that I exercise every morning. So in my sophomore year, I decided, instead of cramming for a test if I have one in the morning, nothing is going to stop me from going to the gym and relaxing in the morning, taking my time and working my body out. So if I didn't get all the studying done, what did I do? Just didn't worry about it. I said, don't worry about it. Just go to the gym and come what may, let's see what I get on the test. I have to tell you, I've never regretted doing that. Right? I never had to rush to study for a test or examination. I never had to cram anymore. Because I found out it didn't even matter. I was late for class, all this type of thing, right? When you look at it, if you look at me compared to Dr. Dean, I go pretty quickly. I look at it. I'm late for a meeting, I'm going to rush things. Right? If something's taking too long and I need to get somewhere else, I'm like worried, I got to get going. I got to drive quicker. But then you can test it. Say, you know what? Maybe I just relax. I go the speed limit. And let me see what happens. Right? That's how you can test this fast thing. Who goes quicker? The person who thinks they know more or the person who thinks they know less? They know less because the people who think they know more, they have no reason to what? To look around. They think they know it already. But the people who realize they don't know, they will go slower because they realize they don't know. Right? They realize when you're going in the dark, you have to go slow. Does this make sense? Okay, guys, thank you so much.